How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks. We focus on one thing: always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid. But to give you guys a quick reminder, if you haven't downloaded the free cheat sheet to take your option game to the next level, I highly suggest you check it out. You can find it for the first link in the comment, or you can find it in the description. So for Lucid, so it ended up being up 3.3% on the day. And we know that there's key levels we need to look out for, especially as this week progresses. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support, we want to know resistance, we want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Lucid. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $19.59, being up 3.32%. On the low, it tested $18.97, and then on the high, testing $20.11. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 15.574 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 17.871 million shares. So we have below average volume on the day, but we still saw some strength in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it's at 52.67. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, we're also below the 50-day, but we still remain to be above the 21-day EMA. And this is what we want to see. We've talked about this many times already. So the low that we tested was at $18.97, and we saw a high at $20.11. We know that $20 is a psychological area. We wanted price action above that 50-day moving average. And since we did get that and we ended up forming a higher low as well, it's definitely looking good for Lucid going into tomorrow. So the next level that I want to see Lucid get up to is around $20.60. If we can get to $20.60, this is where we can see a clear breakout level and we could see Lucid making that move going into the $21 range. But here's the thing, if we decide to have a pullback now, of course I want the 21-day EMA to continue to be support, but if we decide to break through it, then I'm looking for support to hold up at least around $18.50. And even within this range, Lucid does continue to look good. So I want to make sure you guys remember that. The only time I start going bearish and I'm saying, well, you know what, it's starting to look very weak, it'd have to break below 1750, because that's when we could see it would be on a clear downtrend from there. But aside from that, let's see if this 21-day EMA can curl up above that 50-day moving average and things get really interesting for this play. Like I said, we want that move to 2250. Now let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent short interest information for Lucid. So the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 59.38%. And then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 3 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availabilities at 350,000, updated 20 minutes ago. And then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 11.81%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 6th, it was at 52.10. And then for the close of the 7th, being at 59.38. So right away, taking a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 24.25%, Lucid does have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Lucid. So we see on the inflow, it was at 46.45 million, and then on the outflow, it's at 61.09 million. So we had an outflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it was 0, on the medium it was 27.25, and then on the small it was 19.20. And then taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large it was 9.06 million, On the medium, it was 31.47 million, and then on the small, it was 20.56 million. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, June the 8th, we had that outflow of negative 9.06 million. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, you can see we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, that represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 0.94%. So this continues to be a consistent range for Lucid, and due to the fact that it did post up a green day on an outflow day is exactly what you want to see. The stock is showing a lot of strength. Now let's move on to the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Lucid, when it comes to the price action, we continue to have strength above the 21-day EMA, which is at $18.89. We ended up seeing a low on the day of $18.97. So not only did we form a higher low, we also did do a higher high. And one of the things we need to pay attention to, that $20 area, we know it is a psychological area for this play. So we need to have that price action going to $20.60. If Lucid can get to $20.60, that's where I can see a breakout going to $21. And of course, to break out of this downtrend, we need to see it get to at least $22.50. That's where it can get very interesting for this play. But in the meantime, if we decide to have a pullback or we have some consolidation, keep in mind, we have CPI that's coming out on Friday. As long as Lucid could hold up $18, I feel that it will be doing very well. And I know what you're saying, wouldn't that break the higher low pattern? Yes, it would, but it still keeps the stock inside of the game. And it does also make it break through that 21-day EMA, but $18 is what you really want to see hold up. But if we decide to break through $17.50, that's when I'll start being bearish on the play and be like, you know what, things are not looking that great. But in the meantime, Lucid is doing very well. And the best case scenario is if we can go into tomorrow and form another higher low, maybe having support right at $19, it'll be a good look for the stock. And then we can see what happens when the CPI numbers come out. If you guys don't know already, I've been talking about it for quite some time. If those numbers end up being really bad, the entire market is going to pull back and Lucid will follow along with it. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, Lucid does continue to have short squeeze potential. So that's why I always say keep a close eye on this play, especially when they have catalysts. Their most recent catalyst was a financing deal, which I feel is great. It gives the opportunity for more money to start coming into the company because there's going to be financing options and there's also going to be leasing options. And we also did see, as far as for Tesla today, it did pick up some steam, and we want to see if that's going to continue, because we know if Tesla decides to go on a run, Lucid will follow along with it. I know the price action won't be the same, but I want to see Lucid getting comfortable at $20. I think it's getting kind of annoying now to see it go to $20 and just pull back. But again, that comes with the game. But if we can gain that momentum, things definitely do look good for this play. And if you are an investor, like I said in my previous videos, at these current levels, I do not feel that it's worth buying the stock, just as my personal opinion. And if you are a trader, you guys already know what the levels you have to look out for to the upside and as well as for the downside for this play. So come up with your strategy and figure out what works well for you. And if you need some assistance with that, then I highly suggest that you join us inside of the Discord. And if you're not going to be joining us inside of the Discord, please download the cheat sheet. You can find it in the first link in the comments and as well as in the description. This will help you take your option game to the next level. I want to see you guys succeed in these markets. I know it's been choppy. I know it's been volatile, but you can still make money because we're doing this in the Discord on a consistent basis. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see how the stock performs going into tomorrow. We'll talk soon.